My youngest this.
Okay, so we do have a forum, and so this is actually, I mean, it's really just a discussion for releases, right? So yeah, we get there.
Electra is about here.
Okay, so we'll pause for a second, and we'll think quietly to ourselves.
She physically coming.
Hmm?
Physically,
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, physically.
And we'll shout out Eric for doing all the work to get this stuff put together, meeting organized.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, very much. Particularly developing contracts.
Yeah.
On.
Work's not quite done yet, but
The lease. Sir,
You're up. He's been here a lot.
probably
That's what I was thinking. I've seen it down there quite a bit. The last couple of weeks. Or black.
you know, a serious aircraft was like what $1.5 million new now.
yeah.
And they can't afford a blinking red light, so you don't get warranted by their strobes at night.
Parked up.
Yeah. Yeah, they're ahead of a point. See, LEDs are a little less harsh than the actual one of those strobes.
Yeah.
Good God,
That's great. That's 1.5 million, yeah. That's
Yeah,
that right there.
yeah, and there's a
That one's probably,
what?
that's a early model one, so that's probably early mid. It's short. Doesn't look
And that
too
might
small.
be 20.
Yeah.
Sorry, further going.
It's a nice still up there. It's the parts.
Yeah.
But if that's that 20 stuff, new ones are still out.
That's good. They were-
Okay.
Okay, so
Well, so we'll go through Jaeger first.
I didn't print out everything.
Yeah, I've got everything printed out here, both the resolution. Well, the first thing in order is hangar purchase agreement. They just know that the commission will recall, we met about this previously, like a couple months ago, or I'm trying to remember. And the commission gave me instructions to go ahead and work with the two tenant owners to convey the hangar building on space that, of course, Commissioner O'Neill's. So as to avoid a property tax issue, we needed to do that before July 1st, which is why the special meeting today is probably all aware. So I met with both of the property owners, that is Jet Air and Terry Edmonds, and worked out a short-term, well, the purchase agreement for the property. Again, kind of broad strokes, they're giving us the property for $1, and then we're leasing back for the same terms of rent, same rental term length as the ground lease in each cases. The short-term lease here is only for 120 days, and that was a protection that was requested so as to ensure that they didn't sell us for the $1 and then we decided not to lease it back to them in terms that they would agreed. And so you'll see that there is a clause in the purchase agreement in each of these two that says, hey, if we don't execute a long-term lease within 120 days from the property, the hangar building reverts back to them, which I understood. And I said, yeah, that's fair. So we can include that. And so in the next couple of months, we'll be working through the longer term lease, and that will of course be brought back before you, because those long leases are more than 3 years. There needs to be a public hearing set, which basically means 2 meetings, a meeting to set the public hearing and then the second meeting to hold the public hearing and approve the lease. So that's why you're only seeing short-term leases now instead of long-term, because we just didn't have the 2 meeting and public or time for the public hearing to make that happen.
I have one question.
Sure.
I think at our last meeting, it came up that some municipalities are actually charging the airports for the hangars at the airport. the municipal airports on.
Yeah, see, I guess I don't recall that. Can you tell me more?
So not Iowa City, of course, but like Duluth is one example where they're city-owned hangars that they rent out. The city of Duluth or the county or whoever is charging tenants the hangar rent and then also property tax or taxes on top of that hangar. But so I think that's something that we discussed and
Is the question just basically whether or not these will
Are we at risk of that? Because now with the airport owns them, okay,
right?
after we do this, then is it possible in 5 years from now, the city's gonna say, oh, airport, you have to start paying us, all this additional.
Well, there's two issues there, and let me first talk about the property tax issue. I mean, we've been working with the city assessor, so he understands what's going on, and he's already kind of signed off. Yeah, if you guys own it and so forth, then it won't be taxable. So I'm not worried about that. That said, my intention in both long-term leases and I did in these short-term leases is that, hey, look, if something ever changes with property taxes, that's on the tenant. We don't want to. I mean, you probably saw the amount of rent we're bringing in for these, and so if suddenly we're paying property taxes, I suspect we will be losing money on these leases. Obviously, we don't want to do that. We want to kind of keep everything as close to the status quo ante as before, and that'll come up in terms of insurance and some other things that we can talk about down the road. But could there be a change in the law? Could there be a new city assessor, next year who has a different opinion about all this? Sure.
Yeah, there's no guarantee.
Yeah, I can't guarantee.
In which
that
case-
will change.
Presumably we would put that expense on.
Yes, that's the way I'm setting it up. That's the way the ground leases are set up now, and it's my intention to keep it set up that way with the long-term lease. The other question you asked about is is the city gonna start charging? Well, that would require some changes too. As you know, the city, delegates all responsibility and authority to the airport commission to regulate everything having to do with the airport, short of selling anything here at the airport. So I would be shocked if there was a change and suddenly the city wanted the money. If I understood your question, if the city were to take the money from rent, that would be a significant change. But again, I'm not here to guarantee that can happen, but that would require an ordinance. That's why.
Sounds like.
We're trying.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So in short, we're doing 120-day leases because that falls below the high water mark for public hearings.
Yeah.
So we can
3
get
years.
the ball rolling.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a balance between 3 years is where you need to have a public hearing.
Yep.
Obviously, it's well below that, and that's because the tenants want to make sure that, it doesn't drag out, that they really do enter into a hearing. And so, and I understand that, that's reasonable.
So the purchase is effectively taking place, but the 120-day thing is to protect them.
Yes,
And so they will be covered by it. We're effectively taking care of
Yes.
this just about.
well, right, yeah, and the only caveat is if for some reason we're not able to engage in a long-term lease,
Right.
well, then it's
Right.
gonna revert to
Yeah,
them,
then
and
you'll
it will
have
be
that
taxed.
cost.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
well,
Okay, there's no further discussion. I'll propose that we consider a resolution approving the hangar purchase agreement for hangar November between the Iowa City Airport Commission and Jenny Corporate.
Second.
we'll do the roll call. Electra.
Aye.
Judy.
Aye.
Chris.
Aye.
Warren.
Aye.
Ryan. Aye.
We need to do the short-term lease. You'll be up to date.
So resolution approving term lease for hangar in between Iowa City Airport. So they have. Oh,
Again, Electra.
Aye.
Judy.
Aye.
Chris. Warren.
Aye.
Ryan. Aye.
And there's nothing different, right, about the hangar 80.
No, same concept, same idea.
So I move that we approve a resolution approving the hangar purchase agreement for hangar 80 between the Iowa City Airport Commission and Perry Pitt.
second.
Roll call. Electra.
Aye.
Judy.
Aye.
Chris. Aye. Warren.
Aye.
Ryan. Aye.
propose a resolution approving short-term lease for hangar 80 between the Iowa City Airport Commission and Barry Edmonds. Second.
Roll call, Electra.
Aye.
Evie,
Aye.
Chris, Warren, Brian, I. Guess was there any other stuff needed? No, we really do.
No, we'll just need a couple of you to stick around,
Sure.
sign some documents and I prepared to notarize that. I think we're all square. So unless Mike's got anything, I'm sorry.
Okay, yep, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you all.
So you need secretary.